Hello, this is Michael with TinyFrog Technologies. I'd like to talk a little bit about optimizing your website for mobile viewing. Almost every site that's built nowadays is mobile responsive, meaning the site will be adjusting, all the content will be adjusting for not only mobile devices, but for also tablet devices. So there's a couple of really important things to focus on or to consider in terms of building or optimizing a website for mobile viewing. First thing is the size of the navigation. So let's say you have an informational site and you have maybe 5 or 6 items on the top level navigation, and then you have drop down items with multiple items. When your website is being reduced or being adjusted for a mobile device, obviously the site is going to be much smaller. So that horizontal menu will no longer work. So it'll be, what will typically happen is the mobile menu is the 3 lines of the hamburger menu, which automatically makes the navigation vertical versus horizontal. So if you have a vertical menu for viewing for mobile devices, if you have a lot of items in that menu, if you have 20 or 30 items, as you can imagine, it's going to be a very, 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 very long list of items for your navigation, which will make that mobile viewing very uncomfortable and very cumbersome. So if you have the intention of making your website optimized or designed well for mobile viewing, it's really, really important that your menu is streamlined and clean as possible. So it's helpful when designing a website to have a strategist come in to focus on what we call the information architecture, which is a fancy way for saying your navigation, making the pages as logical and intuitive, as streamlined, as clean as possible, to hopefully reduce all the unnecessary pages to have a really clean menu. Now you might say to yourself that you need a lot of pages on your website or a lot of content on your website because you're focusing on optimizing your website for the search engines. There's a number of different ways to get that content into the site without overwhelming the top level navigation. So that's the first thing to focus on, is making your menu very clean. Secondly, this is a really simple thing, but it's surprising to me how many websites aren't focusing on having an easy way to contact. If your website is a marketing site and lead capture is important, it's really important that when someone lands on your website at a mobile device, all they might want to do is call you. So in a very prominent place in every single page of the website, it should have a very click-to-call feature. It's very easy to implement into a website, a mobile responsive website, and it's surprising to me how many websites that I go to and mobile devices I have to scroll down, look for the phone number. When I find it, I can't click it, and chances are I'm not going to memorize it, go back to my phone and call it. So it's really important that your messages, your website is set up for one click to call through the probably in a prominent place on the top of the web page on site on every single page. And third thing that's important to consider for your mobile website, again, in the interest of making it easy for people to contact you, is your form, your contact form. If your contact form has 15 fields in it, it's going to be very, very cumbersome for someone on a mobile device to type in and fill out every single field in that form. So a form that's very streamlined is really critical to not only encourage lead capture in your website and convert as much traffic as possible, but it's especially important in a mobile device. And the same form that's used on your desktop version is also used in your mobile version. So you should consider designing that form from the perspective of mobile first, focusing on making your website as optimized for mobile as much as possible, making the user experience as clean as possible for that mobile user, because it will impact a lot of your users. And as you can imagine, more and more people are going to websites and mobile devices. So optimizing your website for mobile viewing is really important. If you have any questions on mobile first design or optimizing your website for mobile viewing in general, feel free to contact us. This is Michael with TinyFrog Technologies. Thanks.